first of all, congratulations. I'm curious, did you talk to Anaheim in the time before the draft here? How many times did you guys talk, and did you have a sense or a feeling that the Ducks would take you at the 3 spot?
Yeah, we talked, a couple times, like 2 or 3 times, maybe 4, decent amount of times. And to be honest, I didn't really know where I was going to end up. I'm just super fortunate that they took me, and really looking forward to it.
You seem to be rising in some, draft, mock drafts or, prognostications or whatsoever. Were you at all surprised that you went this high?
Not too much. Obviously I was, super happy for myself, and, obviously my family was, super proud of me. So right now I'm just kind of enjoying the moment and kind of just going step by step.
And I'll ask one more and I'll move on. Let someone else have it. What is it? You obviously have an interesting journey, and it was an interesting season for you. What would you say is the biggest things about your game? What are the things that you think will translate to an NHL game and to the Ducks?
I'd say, the biggest thing is my hockey IQ, just kind of knowing where to be and, knowing what play to make at the right time. And I'd say another thing that kind of, makes me, the player I am today is just my compete level, just, how hard I compete, on and off the ice.
Thank you, Eric. Mark Wicker from the OC Register.
Hi, Mason. I know your dad played and coached, and your brother played and is in doing MMA now. But how rough and tumble was that household growing up?
Yeah, no, it was definitely super competitive. I think that's kind of where I got my competitive edge. Just always battling. Whether it's just playing road hockey or anything, basketball, whatever you name it, we're always competing, with my mom, my dad, and my brother. So definitely a super competitive household growing up. So I'd say that.
I know that you did well in Switzerland, and you had to make some adjustments to some older players. How long did it take you to feel comfortable there and know that it was going to be a worthwhile experience for you?
I'd say, just first couple of games, obviously, I think it was a bigger adjustment, just not playing, for about a year or whatever it was. So, just kind of getting my legs back, and that, I got more comfortable each game, obviously meeting a lot of new people there. So, it took a couple games, but then, I was pretty confident and pretty, comfortable with my game. So, I'd say just like 2 or 3 games.
Thank you.
Elliot Tieford.
Almost forgot how to unmute. Congrats, Mason. Welcome. I'm kind of curious about your game. What are you going to bring to the table here? I've heard you described as a tank on skates. Is that accurate?
I'm definitely, a bigger sized kid for sure. But I'd say, it's definitely my hockey IQ and my brain, just knowing where to be. And as I said a bit before, just my competitiveness.
Are you more comfortable as a centerman or on the wing?
I'd say center.
Center. Why? Because you're involved in everything that way?
Yeah, it's just kind of what I grew up playing. Naturally, I always kind of found myself always in the middle of the ice. And that's kind of where I, grew up playing, and just kind of, what I've been playing pretty much my whole life. So.
Now, what was it like to grow up in Switzerland? I think you moved to Canada at what age? 8? Is that what I read somewhere?
Yeah, I think I was 9 or 10 when I moved back full time. But obviously my dad played pro hockey over there, and we'd always come back in the summers and stuff. So it was definitely a little bit different. But I think it's some similarities. Lots of open kind of space, and super nice country, similar to Canada. So it was definitely a great experience for myself.
Yeah, you'll love the freeways here. Traffic's a little different.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Thanks, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Elliot. Greg Beecham, and then we'll go to Eric Stevens.
Mason, congratulations. I'm sorry if there's background noise. I've seen you talk a lot about how Ryan Getzlaf is a guy that you really admire and a guy you compare your game to. Can you tell us why that is and what you like about Ryan?
I just, I like the way, I like how hard he competes. He's a bigger guy, kind of similar to me, and obviously he's super talented, and he gets around pretty well too for how big he is. So I definitely look up to him, and just kind of admire the way he plays the game.
What's your immediate future? How soon do you see yourself in the NHL?
Hopefully I can make an impact as soon as possible, but we'll obviously have to see how camp goes.
You ever been to California, Mason?
I have not.
You're gonna like it. Thanks.
Thank you.
From Tokyo, back to you, Eric, here at Honda Center.
Sure. Hey, Mason, like I said, you just talked about Ryan Getzlaf. I've seen the name Bull Horvat also mentioned with you in terms of, comparables and whatsoever. What's your thought on that? When Ryan Getzlaf, Bull Horvat, I mean, these guys have had, really, great, if not great careers in the NHL. What's your thought on that in terms of, sort of having a game comparable to them?
Yeah, I just kind of think of it, just, similar style. Obviously, we're not going to be the same player, but yeah, kind of, as I said, just both, obviously all three of us are, definitely, all over 6 foot and, over 200 pounds. So, just bigger guys kind of compete hard, both all centermen, win faceoffs, that sort of stuff, just more style of play, I'd say. Are
there any other players that as you, grew up that you particularly kind of watched, particularly kind of focused on?
Yeah, there's guys like Braden Shen, obviously Ryan O'Reilly too is, another guy I like to use, but yeah, no, just, mostly centermen, two-way guys that, compete really hard and obviously have a lot of, talent as well.
And lastly, for me, do you play straight line hockey? Do you like the cycle game? Is there a, sort of particular style that you feel really fits your skill set?
I'd say, mostly playoff hockey is, I think, what I thrive in, heavier hockey. But, I think, I just kind of use my hockey IQ and kind of just adapt to, any situation that's kind of thrown towards me at the ice. But, yeah, no, I'd say thrive mostly in playoff hockey kind of style, like more, rough and, a bit more rowdy, I guess.
Thank you again.
And Wick, back to you.
Mason, how well do you know Brant Clark? He was picked a few picks behind you by the Kings.
I know him really well. We're great buddies.
He grew up near Carp there, or in the Ottawa area.
Yeah, he's like probably like 15, 20 minutes. He's just in more downtown Ottawa, I guess.
How do you assess what he does?
Yeah, he's a great player. Super smart. Yeah, no, makes the right plays. He's super fun to play with. Super creative, and I think he'll be a great defenseman in the NHL one day.
Last thing for me, your shot. People talk about it. And have you been in a lot of hard shot competitions or contests over the year?
No, nothing too crazy. I think it's mostly my accuracy. Obviously, work a lot in my shot in just the garage, like every other NHL and little kid growing up. But yeah, no, it's something I kind of work a lot on, and it's it's been working for me, I guess.
And I'm sorry, one more. But how much power play? I assume you're on the first power play unit in most of the teams that you've been on.
Yeah, kind of sprinkled. I guess my 16-year-old year I was mostly on the second unit in Peterborough, but yeah, no, definitely sprinkled into the first unit a couple times, and yeah, no, just kind of find myself there sometimes.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eric, go right ahead.
Yeah, hey, sorry, Mason. I just have one more. Just I know the OHL didn't play this year, but year before, did you run up against Jamie Drysdale much at all?
I played him once, I believe, in Erie. I think when we played him in Peterborough, he was at the World Juniors, I believe. And yeah, no, he's obviously a great player. I know a buddy of mine, Connor Lockhart, he plays in Erie too, and he's from Ottawa, and he said great things about him. He's a terrific player, obviously, and a great guy too. So.